What we have here are two Williams Music Mites. The reason I'm filming this is one of them is marked number 118 and the other one is marked 2025. The reason I brought those numbers up is because many people always quote the teeny weeny jukebox site that says that there is only so many of these produced. Well, I actually have one lower than their lowest number and higher than their highest number. So according to the way I'm looking at it, you had about 2,000 of these made, at least. Some of the differences that they changed on here, they're really subtle. On the bases, the original bass had darker lines, but the colors on the notes are the same, and the bottom wood had a speckly pattern. I'm assuming, like I said, that these weren't repainted or anything. The bases are original. You could tell they're not just plywood on the back. They actually have wood, and inside they have wood. Where I've seen some people made, they were just nice repros, but they're out of plywood. But anyway, these stripes are of lighter color as you compare it to the two. That's really about the only thing I found on the bases that were different. The original marquee, as you can see, had a more of a reddish tint down here, and it was green. This is actually a reproduction that I got. It's really nice because it's silk screened. It's a lot thicker, as you can see how thin these are and tend to warp. This is a really beautiful reproduction. This is an original. This is the later model, the 2025 Music Mite, and as you can see, it's more of like a pinkish color and more of like an aqua type green. Now, this one here was painted yellow. Their drop shoot was painted yellow, so you see a lot of them with like a yellow shoot, and it was very hard to get that paint off. This was just your standard steel, shiny steel looking drop shoot. Now the newer ones ended up having a cloth with like a circular pattern for a background, where the first one had this diamond pattern, and all this is a piece of plastic. Now originally it was just black, and I'm assuming it must have been gold at one time, but when I went to clean it, all the black came off, and it just left me this plastic. You have smooth diamonds, and then you have like a textured diamond. Let's see if I can. Oops, I can't really zoom in on it. Anyway, you got textured diamonds. Only problem is the background was just the plywood pattern, and it really looked stupid. So I just took some paper and I glued some silver foil, not silver, gold foil on it, and turned out really nice. Now the old sides, you can see the notes were orange, black, and then like an aqua green. And the newer one, you just have like a darker red and the green. The side decals are really the same. I don't see any difference there. But the wood on the original, you have this large area cut out for make a selection, and then on the later version they have a smaller area cut out. Don't know why they did that. Maybe to have more light shine through that make a selection. Let's see, what else is it? I see nothing really significant. There's a bracket under here. Who knows, this might have been redone, where this one the wood itself is inside a groove. The later one has an interesting locking feature for that plastic dome. They have it where the coin box pushes this lever and pushes up this piece to lock in the dome. And what they have here is, if you look at the dome, they have a hole cut out, and that lever would push up there this way. You can't pull that dome out. And you can see the older version has nothing. And if you look at the older version, you can see they never had at least this one here don't have any screw holes or anything, so it was added thought later. I guess people were probably stealing the domes So they came up with that. If you look at the back of the bass, you can see that they used actual wood instead of plywood. Both of them are like that. There's a difference in the back doors too. You can see on this back door, you got the number 118. That was the actual machine, and that is also over here on this board, where this other one is number 2025, but there's no marking on that wood on the inside like that one. They both have the same closure, same locking mechanism, but if you notice, the older one was shorter, was longer, and the newer one is shorter. And that's because the older one, they just had like a little channel that would fit into, where the newer one, they put a little piece of plywood in the back. As far as the turntables, the older version had the gold turntable, and you can see where the screw is just a narrow channel all the way across. Where the later version, you can see, I don't know why they flared it down there like that, or angled it there, but anyway, they added that extra thickness, and it's more of like a zinc plated material. And that also goes for where the numbers are. The older one is gold and the newer one is like a zinc plated. As far as the amplifiers, the old one apparently has a Aristocrat amplifier in it, and I don't know if Williams just used Aristocrat amplifiers at the time because that's when it started out, or if they had their own and this was replaced. But the difference, main difference just looking at it, is the preamp tube is a 6AU6 or a 6B. It looks like an M6, but the other tubes are identical. Capacitors on top is identical, and you both have the two transformers. Or this one over here is actually a Williams one, and what is this tube amp? I think it's a 6AT, yeah, 6AT6, I believe it is. And if you look at them, I mean, except for this one has original transformer in the back. I guess it's for the speaker. But other than that, they pretty much look identical to me. And lastly, the most obvious difference, just looking at them, is the front grille. You can see the old one had this pattern, and the new one had this pattern, more of just diamonds. So it's pretty amazing that it's been around 1 year and they changed it so many different times, little subtle things here and there. But I just thought I'd make a video and show the differences. I don't know if it's typical with all the Music Mites from this era, but I'm assuming it should be. But I just thought it was kind of interesting that I had one in the hundreds and one in the thousands, and you can actually see a couple little differences here and there. One other thing that I noticed that I want to point out is that the wood underneath the grill on the original one, if you look at it, the wood is a little more recessed in from the grill, whereas the newer one, the wood is flusher, sticking out just a hair more. Also, I want to point out that the stripes on the base itself, the new one is like lighter, and if you look over here, not at the horizontal part but the vertical part, you can see the color, how it's dark, and it matches these stripes, where this one, the older one, is a lot darker, and you can see how the color matches. So they also changed the color on the bases, plus they changed the bottom part of that wood. Just thought I'd point that out.